Biofuel was introduced in Tanzania like 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, and it was introduced by the force behind the introduction of biofuel to Tanzania. It was the Swedish
company.
Swedish companies, I think, through Swedish government to Tanzania.
Well, what I would advise my government is a matter of stabilizing policy. And when we encourage food security, promoting food crops and so forth, just to have enough food in the country, and again we need to consider energy crops in order to reduce the question of importing energy, importing fuels from outside. We can use fuel produced on our own land. And so I need that the government should promote energy crops to small farmers, to increase income at household level, and to conserve the environment so far, and at last that we increase income through reducing buying kerosene and other fuels from outside. We use that what we produce at the national level.
It seems from the onset of it, from the initial stages of it, that it's not originated in Tanzania. It's externally imposed to Tanzania, and the problem is that there was no policy in place, a biofuel production policy. There was no any law in place supporting it. So it's kind of something which has been introduced, and it hasn't even policy things to accommodate it.
So the
policy in place to accommodate it, and it was intended when it was introduced, though it's for energy purposes, but it's not to cater for energy needs for Tanzania or Tanzanians.
Just for export.
Just for export, for external market for export. This is something which.
Okay.
The main challenge is the policy. The government, there's no clear policy on biofuel production in the country. So now what we are doing is to encourage them to grow, not in plantations but around their homestead and around their farms, or on areas where there's soil erosion on the slopes, so that the trees act as a block or helping to reduce soil erosion. So because of food security, most of the politicians and the other government officials are hesitating to have those trees planted everywhere. Yes. Because they take long time and it might be difficult for them to remove from food. So they are scared that people might spend most of their land growing Jatropha instead of food.
Yes.
And we want people to have enough food. So that's the main challenge.